Now, once you went through your therapy, whatever method that is, you're comfortable to talk to somebody about it other than the therapist, right? You've gotten your little notes jotted down in your journal. And so now you want to face it head on. You want to be able to address the issue. So if the issue is with someone, you do not have to say, oh, I forgive this person. You don't have to do all that. What you are doing is being able to stand in front of the person and say, hey, I didn't like when this happened, and this is how it has affected me. Now, you may get some feedback that you don't really want. You may have already been through this process and it what didn't go so well. But this is key to freeing yourself. You are basically saying, hey, this has happened. This is how I experienced it. And you know what? Listen, hear what the person has to say. Now, it may not be what you wanted to hear, but listen at what they said. Now, there's one thing that I do with my mother that works well for us. I say, I'm going to tell you something, but I don't need you to say anything. I just want you to listen. And that means she doesn't have to talk. She doesn't even have to give me a response to what I said, but I'm allowed to say whatever I have to say, right? So you give the person the courtesy and respect to say, hey, this is your turn to talk. I spoke and I said what I had to say. Now you say what you have to say and you listen to them, right? And you may not like to hear what they have to say or where their mind was at during the trauma. But this is a way for you each to have the conversation. And I'm not saying you're going to leave the conversation with resolve, but at least you had an opportunity to say what you had to say. They said what they wanted to say. And now you can move on to the next step because now you're free. You are free. And I'm not going to say that, there's not going to be little triggering things along the way. I don't want to give you that impression. But this is such a powerful way of doing things. I myself address things head on.